Welcome to Chromebooks 101, where we'll look at the bones of our Chromebooks and how to navigate and use them daily in our classes. The first thing that we need to know is how to log on to our machines. You will be using your district email, and that consists of your first initial, your last name, at usd375.org. There are some accounts that might be different, but for the most part, that's what everyone's will consist of. Once you have that entered in, you'll go ahead and hit the next button. The next screen that you'll see will ask for your password. We will all set our passwords and then you'll be all set up. Now, this email and password will work at home for a Google account. You'll be able to access your school Google account at home, and it will work on your Chromebooks as well. Once you go ahead and hit next again, you will log in to your Chromebook. And the first thing that you will see is your home screen here. We will start from the left, right over here. This little circle is what we call the launcher. Going over to the right, you will see this little, there's not an actual bar, which you might be used to seeing quite yet. You might see one pop up later, but right here, there's kind of an invisible bar, and Chromebooks calls this the shelf. That's where it keeps all of the apps. Right now, all I have is Google Chrome. You guys will have, I think that 3 automatically show up. We'll add some here in a little bit. But if we keep moving over to the right, next you'll see the little bell. Those are for any notifications that you might receive. Earlier, I had 2 there, and I just clicked and it told me some information about some stuff on my Chrome. So you might see some numbers, and if you do, you just click right there and it'll tell you what those notifications are. Then you can see what time it is. If you have anything else going on, it'll tell you right here. This is your network signal, and then your battery percentage. Right now I'm plugged in, so it has a little lightning bolt. And then this is your profile image. We're going to look at how to change that here in a minute. What we want to look at first is actually clicking on that and looking at all of our options. If you go to the top, this is the account that you are logged into. You will always want to be logged into your own. Since we do have our own Chromebooks, that shouldn't be an issue, but you always make sure that you're logged into your own account. If you ever need to sign out, this is where you go to do that. You go down here. This is your network that you are connected to. If you should ever take one of the Chromebooks home, this is where you would go to log on to your home network. If you keep going down, here is your volume for your Chromebook right here. There are settings right here that we'll look at here in just a second. Down a little bit more, you have information about the day and the year. If you have questions or help, this is where you can actually shut down your machine. And this is to lock your computer. If you have to leave the room, or if you want to make sure that nobody gets into your computer, you need to lock your computer, and that's where you would go to do that. What we're going to do right now is jump right back up here to the settings and go look at what you can find here in the settings. The first thing that we will look at is the appearance. Sometimes you'll have more freedom on the appearance than others. Occasionally it's opened up, sometimes it's locked down. If you can change the wallpaper, it's here. Your themes will be for your Google Chrome. Your home button, you should be able to choose whether or not you can show a home button. And if you can show the bookmark bar, that will be an option. So you can choose whether or not to select those. Here, you can change the touchpad speed. That is the square on your laptop. You can decide how fast your mouse is going to move on your touchpad. Your mouse speed, if you plug in a mouse, that will control that. The touchpad is how sensitive your touchpad is. Going down your search is going to be set on Google. That's what we use. We're not going to change that. Going down a little bit more, this is the picture that I was talking about earlier. It defaults to something just standard. If you want to change it, we will add an actual picture later. I have mine in here already, but this is how you go to change it. You click change, and this is my Google profile picture. So it's already loaded in here. So if I just click here and done, it will actually match instead of being a random coffee cup. If I continue down here to show advanced settings, there are a few things that I would like for you to change in here. If you just keep going down, if you ever need Bluetooth, it's right here. But if you keep going down, your downloads will automatically just download into your Chromebook. And we don't really want that. We want you to have access to those downloads no matter where you go. If you need them at home, you want to be able to get them at home. So instead of your downloading to just your downloads file, I've changed mine to go to my Google Drive, and then I've created a downloads file. So what I would like you to do is go to change, and then right over here on the side, if it doesn't happen to already drop down, go ahead and go right here to this little button. I call this a play button just because that's what it looks like to me. And then click on Drive and come right down here to where it says New Folder, and click on New Folder and name that new folder Downloads. And that way, anytime you download something, it will automatically go into this folder. So go ahead and click on Downloads and then Open, and it will let you select that, and then just double check that you have Google Drive and Downloads, and then you will be good to go. There are some other things that you can look at through here if you're ever curious. And then once you're done, you can just exit out of there. Now that we're done over here, we're going to go back over to the very left. When we first started, I told you that this was the launcher. Well, I had no idea what that was whenever I first started on the Chromebooks. Launcher doesn't really mean anything to me. It's not the same as with a normal computer. We'll go ahead and click on it. It brings up this screen. Instead of programs, what you can do from this screen is you can search in this bar and it will bring up a Google search. You can also just type in a website address and it will go directly to that website. So that's one thing. The next thing is that you have some apps that are already listed here, and apps are a Chromebook's programs. So they're called something different. So they're apps. What you can do is right here, you have files. So you can right click and pin to the shelf, and that will make your files come right down here. If you're using a mouse, you're going to do the right click. If you're just using your trackpad, you're going to 2-finger tap and then pin to your shelf. So anything that you think you're going to use a lot, you can pin to your shelf right here so that you have very easy access to those things. So there I have my files, my Google Drive. You can add as many things as you want to or as few. That's totally your own preference. So you have these few apps here, but there are a lot more that you can look for. Let's say we wanted Google Classroom. So you could just type in Classroom, just start typing it, and it will pop up, and you can 2-finger tap or right click and pin that to your shelf. So if we go back, if I click right here, you have a whole bunch of different apps that you can choose from. You can go look through. This is play music. You will be able to listen to music, so you can add that as well. You can just look through. There's a calculator. There is actually another page, so you can click here. There are quite a few more apps in addition to what's here, but we will go to what is called the Webstore here in just a little bit to find that. To get to the Webstore, though, we need to go to Google Chrome and we need to search for that. So we are going to just start typing Webstore and hit enter. And you can either click on that one or this one, either one. And in the Chrome Web Store, you're going to find a few different things. You'll find extensions, themes, apps, and games. Extensions are things that work within Google Chrome. They just extend Chrome's functionality. One that I have right here is a color selector. So if I were to click on this and I went right here, that would match the purple color. It just extends what Chrome can do. Apps are actual applications that you can add to Chrome. I'm screencasting right now with an application. Themes are just themes that add to Google Chrome. So if I click my new tab, this is a Google theme. It just makes your Google Chrome look pretty. So you just see it right here. It does actually change this area up here, but mine's just gray on this one. If you come here and look at your themes, these themes, it turns these black. Now at school, it kind of depends. Sometimes they're locked down and sometimes you are free to choose your themes, but you can definitely do that at home. Your games, you can add games to your Google Chrome, but a lot of times they are, again, blocked at school, but you could look at those at home. So moving on, the last thing that we're going to look at is Google Drive. Now, if you added it earlier, you can just click right down here on your shelf. Now, earlier, remember I said that your shelf it was see-through. So if I go right here, my shelf is see-through, but if I come back to Chrome, now it's black. So you can see this shelf kind of makes more sense now, right? So here's my shelf. So if I go down to my shelf, here is my Google Drive. So I can just click on that and then it will take me straight to my Google Drive. Another way to get to my Google Drive is to come to a new tab and just type in Google Drive. It will take you to a Google search and then you'll just click on My Drive or Google Drive right here, either one of those. So what is Google Drive? Google Drive is, I call it your hub. It's where all of your files are going to be saved, and they are all saved it's called a cloud. It's all saved online. You can get all of your files at school. You can go home and log in and all of your files will be saved there, but everything is going to be saved here. You are not going to save anything anywhere else. Everything kind of filters through your drive and you can start everything from here. You can go right over here to your new and you can create a new folder. You can upload files. You can start a new paper with Google Docs. You can start a new spreadsheet, slides. And if you click right here, you can start all kinds of new things from here if you wanted to. It might not be the fastest way, but if you get confused, you can. So you can start from Drive. So that is all of our basic stuff for Google Chromebooks. Our starting point for using these every day in our classroom.